fuck, I didn't gloss my lips.
Stop glossing your lips, Andrew.
Why?
It's like, it looks like you eat like a greasy, like fried chicken before you get on camera.
Do you think that's what people think about me when they see my lips glossed? They're like, it can't be chapstick. It has to be a greasy fried chicken sandwich. That's literally.
I don't think anyone thinks that.
No,
okay. Definitely not.
Thank God, because if they did, like, I'd really reconsider a lot of things. Yeah, like, I was just thinking about this maybe last night when I was sitting here on the couch. Do you think I'm somebody who's like a little bit sad and like doesn't have friends?
Why would I think that? Like, why are you thinking that?
Oh, so you're not thinking that?
I didn't say that. I just said, like, why are you thinking that?
I was like really like I was only thinking in the context from your perspective, being like, I wonder if Joe really thinks like I don't do anything. I don't know why.
I feel like you do more than I do.
Yeah, no, but I feel like lately I've been really sitting on the couch.
I feel like that's like lately, like you just got back from a trip, like, actually 2 days ago.
And I've had 2 days and I just sat on the couch.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And you also like didn't just sit on the couch. Like you've like seen Rachel like multiple times.
True.
Like you've gone to work. Like
I wrote like one stanza.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're getting into poetry.
Yeah, that basically what
beat poetry.
You're getting into beat poetry. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call you friendless.
No, I definitely have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Loser.
No, not at all. I think it's like weird that you're thinking that about yourself.
You're right.
It's like a conversation for therapy.
And it's tomorrow. That's the thing, because it's been a week and a half now.
Oh, it can't happen.
So once you add the half of the week.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah.
You're toast.
I'm toast.
You're barely hanging on right now.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, so let's just talk about like being a loser.
Your friendless loser.
Like, why do you think that? I'm like, oh, fuck.
Good children.
Creative differences
one more
there.
Time. Good children. I don't know why I think I'm gonna hit a whistle tone today, but if we keep trying, I'm gonna get it. Like I want to do it one more time.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna hit a whistle tone.
Okay.
Good children.
Not bad. I will say that like it is season 2 and like
I can't stop.
And you can't stop.
I've been whistles. No, I've been like weird lately. Like I've been kind of like a friendless loser lately. Like no, like actually I've gotten like a lot more like hyperactive and
How
like
so?
I don't know. I just feel like, what was I just doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's things like that. Like, I feel a lot more like my 12-year-old self, and maybe not in the best way. Like, even, like, the other day, I was just like, I just, like, can't stop, like, doing things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a manic episode, but...
It definitely could be a manic episode. I think that we live in a state of perpetual manic episode. Mania. Yeah, it's just another manic
good mania.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Again, when you did that musical... The jukebox musical in Manic Monday was one of the songs. That's when I first heard that song, and I said, "This is one for me." I said, "This I gotta get home and download this."
Wish
on iTunes.
It was Sunday.
I wish it was Sunday because that's my fun day. I don't gotta run day.
It's just another manic Monday. Oh. Back to the simpler times.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast. We're hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella.
Reflect on our 22 years of friendship, growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and all of the nostalgia, trauma, and middle school experiences that go along with it.
Can you believe we're talking about middle school?
Some
of the darkest days.
The darkest days.
And what was going on in these brains and on these bodies.
Yeah. And in the world.
And in the world.
Culturally, sociopolitically, geographically. All of that. That was all stuff like I'll never forget. I'll never forget when Miley Cyrus was rumored to be pregnant in 6th grade. I'll never forget that.
Do you feel like a family member of yours was gonna give birth?
No, I felt actually like it was my nom. You know, I was like, I remember getting in the car after school and my mom was like, Miley Cyrus is apparently pregnant. I'll tell you one thing. If that's true, you're not going to her concert. I
shut up.
Literally was
started crying.
Sobbing sobbing in the backseat of that car being like, no. Oh my God. Yeah. Thank God she wasn't. Thank God.
She's a bad influence.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I was like, what do you think that I'm going to get pregnant next? Like,
no, actually, I think that she probably was like, yeah, I can't have my kid go to this concert because I can't have these values.
Yeah. And honestly, like when we bring it back to bangers, yeah,
maybe she was
Miley
right.
was a real big, maybe not bad influence. Yeah, actually a really bad influence during the bangers era. Like I was like, I need to be just like her.
Yeah.
So I would have had a kid in 6th grade.
I was like, I want to smoke weed.
Yeah.
And I need to throw this ass back.
Yeah. And I want to do Molly.
Yeah. And I want to be on a bed and like grind. Yeah. Wasn't she like doing more than grinding?
It was like she was kind of like masturbating.
She was masturbating for sure.
Like but wait, I saw a crazy fucking TikTok of this girl who was her body double during the bangers era, and I was like, oh, like maybe if she has to do a quick change, like she'll show up on stage for a second when like no one can tell. No, this girl was doing meet and greets as Miley in 2013, like fully was meeting people.
You're kidding me.
And she
had the same voice?
She has the same voice. She did not look a lot like her, but she spoke exactly like her. Like that same, like, oh, here I am, like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, like, the pictures she posted, and I was like, I remember, like, reblogging these pictures of Miley in 2013, being like, oh my God, she looks amazing. And it was this body double. And that just makes me think, like, how many other body double, like, how many other times has this been utilized, especially in a pre-social media savvy world? Like, I'm sure constantly. Isn't that nuts?
Wait, I can't believe this.
On stage, she was doing it.
Because you're also in that moment, too, like, so excited to meet that person.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to believe anything. Whoa.
Why would it not be?
Yeah, why would it not be that?
And, like, the girl clarified that it wasn't for, like, paid meet and greets. It was, like, for, like, specialty moments. Yeah. That, like, no one, like, paid to meet Miley and then met this random body double. But, like, still, I was kind of like, oh. Like, imagine you should be Ben Platt's body double.
When you were saying that, that's all I was.
You were like, wait, I have a new career pivot.
I was like, I could be Ben Platt's body double easily. Understudy.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we're deep diving into our 6th grade experience. We're talking classes. We're talking clothing. We're talking pop culture. We're talking school lunches. We're talking fighting in the streets. We're talking everything that you could imagine for a 6th grader.
In the streets of it all.
Yeah.
The brutality.
Of 6th grade.
The Roman gladiator wars. Yeah, 6th grade was absolute hell on earth. I think that it introduced some interesting themes in my life and permanently altered the way I live.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Oh,
I do want to start with woodshop. Was it called woodshop?
No, you're making that up. Like, this is like you with university. Like, you're rebranding your life into like what they say in TV shows. It was tech.
I'm like, I loved woodshop.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, didn't you use like a little saw?
Like, yeah, but it was like tech.
But what was techie about me building a bridge?
That's tech.
I guess.
Tech is like technical skills, I feel like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think it's technology.
As technology.
Yeah.
I think it was called technology, though.
Yeah, I think it was. Actually. That's technology. Technology didn't mean just like the fucking
You're right.
internet.
But there was something about giving a 6th grader who just out of elementary school a saw.
A power tool.
Literally like fucking like drills and saws and the smallest twigs you ever seen.
Giving a chubby gay 6th grader an electric saw and saying, go for it.
Like, what do I do with this? I couldn't even imagine like my dad asking me to help him with something and then going to technology and then being like, you're going to get graded on this. I'm stressed as fuck.
I was saying to you before we started, my worst nightmare as a kid was helping my dad do anything. And I will never forget, I think it was in A Simple Life, Paris Hilton says to the camera at one point, if you don't want to do something, do it bad the first time because no one's going to ask you to do it again. And I was 7 and I watched Paris Hilton say that and I literally internalized it to a point where like my dad would be like, can you hand me a wrench? And I'd be like, oh, which one's the wrench? I'd be like, just go inside. And I was like, okay. And then I would go inside. My mom would be like, why aren't you out there helping your father?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he doesn't want to go inside. He told me to go inside. What do you want me to do about this?
Isn't that so
As he's
interesting?
like breaking his back, sweating, and I'm like playing with my Webkinz.
Isn't that crazy?
Watching him go
the
back and
roles
forth.
will eventually reverse in a point that like my dad does the same thing. He'll be like over the pool, like dripping sweat. My mom was like, help him. And I go out there. He's like, I don't need any help.
No help.
And sometimes like when people say that they don't need any help, I feel like they actually need the help.
I know.
And it's not the asking, it's the doing.
And that's what my mom was always like, no, your father will always say no, but just do it. And I would always like, she'd be like, can you ask if he needs help in the yard? And I would like open the back door and be like, do you need help?
He's like, no, I'm good. And
I'm
you're like, okay.
Slam that door shut and go back inside.
To sit down. I can't imagine the day that my child asks if I need help and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Do something, idiot.
And so I was also always like, it's the weekend. Like, it's my days off. Like, I have to do something now. Like, I just want to play. As if my dad is not working like 12-hour days.
I know.
Yeah,
it was between the Saturday morning clean sweeps of the entire house with our moms,
like
and then
Sunday
our dads.
morning fucking building something, like renovating the house, Ty Pennington.
I'm like, why? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why are we moving the furniture around? Like,
why are we always doing some form of home improvement?
Yeah,
are we
no
not
one's coming over. Why is the garage open? Why is the garage open?
Why can't we just sit?
Besides building the bridge in tech, that again, I felt like everything was riding on that small bridge. I don't really
remember the bridge.
You don't remember building? Maybe we were in different tech classes, but I had to build that like little bridge, and then they would place weights on it and see how long it would sustain it, and then if it would collapse immediately, it's like you don't get a good grade.
I'm not really sure if I did that.
You never did that?
I did the egg drop. You did the egg drop.
I did the egg drop.
The egg drop was one of the most stressful days of my entire life. Like I'll never. I know exactly how I secured that egg.
Yeah.
I remember doing that. I remember doing the rocket.
The rocket.
And you know my rocket trauma?
I think we should talk about your rocket trauma.
Listen, you're straight. You're in 7th grade. The easiest thing for you to do is build a rocket. It should be second nature.
It's like, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be something you're doing at home.
Comes naturally.
Isn't that what kids do?
Yeah.
Like, you should be building rockets all the time. I'm not going to say his name because we happen to still know him. Couldn't build his goddamn rocket because he was fucking around all day in class.
Of course.
I obviously had a gorgeous...
his hair?
I think I honestly had a rainbow... Yeah, he was doing the Bieber.
Bieber?
I had a rainbow rocket. And...
a rainbow rocket!
I had a rainbow rocket, and I remember setting that baby off in the courtyard outside, and it flew. It flew, and it was one of the only rockets in the entire class to not get destroyed on impact. It was that stable.
I kind of feel like the news spread about your rocket.
That it was a good rocket.
It was a good rocket.
Yeah.
The rainbow rocket.
The rainbow rocket. Yeah, of course. I'm sure that spread around the school for sure. And then my fucking tech teacher, Mr. Murdoch, he's like, can you give your rocket to because he doesn't have one? And it wasn't like was sick. It wasn't like was absent. Just didn't build a fucking rocket. So then I had to give up my perfectly good rocket so that could launch a rocket. Literally, why?
What was that learning curve
I was
for
like
him?
Elon Musk.
You just don't want to do shit, so you're going to get somebody else to do it for you?
And then he blew it up. It exploded. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what I went through in that moment? Being... Did
you have to like suppress rage?
Yeah, because I was like, I can't freaking freak out, but my rocket's gone.
You wanted to keep the rocket.
Of course, I would have kept it. I still have my Pine Car Derby. Like, I keep everything. Like, I would have had that rocket. The rocket would be behind me right now.
It would be. And he took that away from you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I don't know why that like got really real.
Yeah, no, like I think that everyone listening probably felt it. Like it was like really passionate and it was really like emotional. Yeah. And I was pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, wait. I felt like different telling that story.
I think that you like have shed something.
I kind of agree.
Today has been a crazy day.
It's been a crazy,
Today has definitely been a passionate day, I would say.
I would say passion is like one way to put it. I think we were both kind of screaming on the street.
We have been screaming on the street and then being like, isn't it so amazing? We're just like so at peace.
And then like literally the littlest, tiniest thing sends me off like my fucking rainbow rocket. I go nuts.
She was like, that fucking loser. I'm like,
actually like getting Trumpy, and it's getting so scary.
No.
What about the egg drop? What about the egg drop for you? They give you a sponge, they give you straws, they give you like popsicle sticks, they give you
like, didn't you have to like blow? What was that? Like, were we like blowing shit?
like the Pine Boat Regatta.
The Pine Boat Regatta? What do you mean? What do you mean we're blowing things?
Yes.
I kind of know what you mean though.
Maybe not Pine Boat, but like the, what are the things called on roofs? The gutter.
You're gonna
not the gutter. The thing that's, you know, like the drain. Like I think it was like the storm. Like what's the thing that catches the rain on roofs? Do you know what I'm talking about?
You want to publicly humiliate me?
I'm actually shocked. Do you know what I'm talking about at least?
Not the gutter?
Isn't that the thing that's in the street?
No, Joe. The gutter's on your house.
Andrew,
Joe,
get your mind out of the gutter. The gutter is on the street.
Absolutely not.
Andrew, yes.
No, it's not.
Give me the iPad.
That's what I'm saying. That's a gutter. You're trying to tell me, you're explaining this contraption that's catching the water, and you're trying to gaslight
Why
me.
is your mind in the gutter?
Up on the house?
Getting your mind in the gutter means like you're being like perverted, right? Right?
I think we might have had a different childhood now.
Get your mind
out of the gutter. Like, clear your mind. Like,
no, I think that means like stop being a creep.
Like, figure it out. Let's do it. Get your head out of the gutter.
I think it means stop being a creep. Stop thinking dirty thoughts when someone tells
you. Is that what it?
Yeah. It's like when someone's like, you're like, oh, I just came. And you're like, you came? And you're like, well, I wasn't talking about fucking sex. Like, get your head out of the gutter. But why is the gutter... Why are we getting our heads out of the fucking gutter on our roof?
So, like, gutter... Okay, let me...
What are the things on the street?
Gutters are hot as hell. Like, gutters are sexy.
No, it's like
your
dirty.
head is
it's like
stuck.
dirty.
Dirty.
You know what I mean?
What's in the street?
What's the thing in the street? Is it not also a gutter?
No.
What is the curb? Like past the curb?
Like the great things?
It's just a curb. It's just a curb.
It might just be a curb, Joe.
This is an insane revelation, and I don't know how I'm gonna really go forward from here. If I'm being honest, like I don't feel great about what just happened. I'll give you that iPad back. But the Pine Boat Regatta, it was in Boy Scouts.
The PBR.
Yeah. Was it regatta like a boat race?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like something like that, and it was a rain gutter regatta or something.
And we had
a straw, and we built little boats in Boy Scouts.
Yeah, we did. We had to blow it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to blow as hard as I
sure you sent that right over the edge. Yeah.
I'm sure that mine was like actually a speedboat. I waxed the bottom of that. I had a professional do it for me, and it flew.
There was like a
off
string that pulled it.
An invisible string.
What was like your go-to outfit? Like we all know what it was, but like what was your go-to outfit in 6th grade, and why was it the Italia shirt?
I had some like really. I was thinking back to my rocket too, to bring it back to the rocket for a second. It was Italian. It was Italian flag. It was the Italian flag, and like I was wearing my Italia shirt like once a week, like once to 2 times a week.
You were like really. I remember like your pivot to being Italian.
I like found my culture, and out of nowhere, it was like anything I did was Italian.
Yeah,
and it's funny how it works because I feel like I'm honestly back at square one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to take it back in. Do I need to be wearing the flag all the time? Maybe not.
Almost maybe.
Wait, should my thing be wearing
It'd be kind of funny,
flag?
like, I think that me wearing my school uniform, and if you pivot to, like, those shirts you used to wear, like, throw out your couch.
Stop.
Have you told that story?
I don't know if I told that story.
That's one of my favorite things about you.
So, like, my clothing in 6th grade was normally just, like...
A graphic tee. Sports themed.
That always sports, because I think that I was like
projecting.
Yes. It's funny how it works now, because again, I'm back at that point where I was projecting the athleticism, and now I'm like fitness.
I'm a fitness coach.
I'm like, I manifested that, but no, I wore a shirt that said "Throw out your couch." Right.
And like what's so important to remember is what you looked like.
Yes, because I was. Absolutely the couch. Like I was on the plushest, largest couch probably possible. And I was strutting around in that shirt. Was it you that asked me?
I'm sure at one point
Somebody was like, what does your shirt say again? And I was like, oh, it says, throw out your coach.
Throw out your coach.
I didn't know the difference between the U and the A.
Couch. Oh. And it's, again, there is a lot of like poetic irony to you wearing a shirt that said throw out your couch. Oh,
in that moment,
suit, shooting star.
Yeah.
You had a series of these incidents.
Yeah, I definitely
Electric City.
It's been a learning curve for me, and I've been pushing past it. But
it's sweet. It's a sweetness for sure.
There's something sweet about not knowing how to spell. There is something really sweet about that. But yeah, while I was wearing athletic core, you were wearing.
I feel like it was I feel like 6th grade was like my pivot from like Aeropostale into like Ed Hardy, right?
Yeah, I remember you wearing your Ed Hardy, your black t-shirt, your like olive green sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Zip ups.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, everything.
Like a jort to the ankle, always, for sure. I felt very sexy in those.
Absolutely.
And I remember in 6th grade also was when like the baggy like cargo shorts with like plaid, you know, the plaid baggy cargo shorts and like the matching polo shirt became like the thing for like the boys to wear. And I remember wearing that with the fucking checkered Vans, and you put that thought in my head and you ruined the experience for me.
To this day, we've said it before and we'll say it again, like there was this idea of being a poser. And
I was like, I don't know if I can wear my checkered Vans anymore to
you gotta embrace it, and you just gotta pose.
And I don't even know if I was a poser. Like, I feel like those shoes were like for weirdos, and that was weird. You know what I mean?
The shoes, like, I took it literally in the context of like, oh,
skating.
Vans was for skating, but like, you can just be skating through life.
I was.
Yeah.
And I literally will never forget the feeling of putting on those checkered Vans and feeling so cool. Like, it was the first time, I think that was like 6th grade was the first time that like clothes could like represent more than just like something to wear for me. It was like when I started like building outfits, and I just remember feeling like the fucking shit, like putting on those slip-on Vans and being like, I'm literally punk. Like, I'm actually cool. Alt, and like everyone knows it, and like people are probably scared of me.
People are scared of you, and then like you also have the ability to just like take out your flip phone.
Oh. Well, yeah. When did you get your first phone?
I got my first phone in 5th grade. My first phone, though, only called 4 people. It was the Amigo. It was called.
I remember your Amigo.
Yeah, it was like my mom, my dad, like my grandma, and like my house phone.
Love that.
Great. But 6th grade, I remember going into the Verizon store and picking out my like deep gray flip phone, LG. It was so hot. It was so hot. And being able to text and call the people. And then
when in 6th grade did you get that?
I got it, I think, for my birthday.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I do believe that. So like towards the tail end of the year. But once that was in my hand, it was game over. My face was in that screen.
Yep.
And the way that the phones, like from that moment, phones changed, the evolution of phones, and wanting to get a new phone every 3 months.
The necessity of it.
Yeah.
I got my first phone and it was a Motorola Razr.
Okay.
The last day of 6th grade. Because I remember we had finals and I got to bring my phone with me. And I was like, I feel so fucking cool with this shit. And then
they were thin.
They were really thin.
Very thin.
And again, it was like the keypads like that, having to press every single button was such a rush. Like it was, I remember.
Getting quick when my thumbs were moving.
Oh, yes. So fast. And it is kind of like, you kind of freaked me out when you were like the evolution of them. Like, because we weren't like on our phones we weren't on our phones a lot as kids, but like, what were we doing? Didn't have internet.
Nothing.
There weren't like apps. What were we doing on those phones all day?
And we have pictures of us like our face in the phone.
Everyone on their phones.
It must have been like texting, but also and then it got to a point where it was like,
what's texting?
Were we ever? Because Blackberries then became a different point. Like, then you could have been on BBM.
Yeah.
You should
And that
have
was more
statuses.
instant messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still were in like now, like everything's instant messaging. But like in the beginning, it was like you send a text, you wait for a response. And like, again, like you don't spend your whole day on the phone.
No.
And like now I spend my whole,
Paying like Tetris?
I guess, Snake. Now I spend my whole entire day on my phone. My entire day from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep.
And it doesn't it never feels good.
No.
When it says like
8 hours screen time.
Yeah, this week you were up 104%. And you're like, what the fuck do you mean?
It's really troubling. And it does freak me out. Like, I want to be Amish. Like, I want to be a Luddite. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like, and I feel it. Like, I'll wake up and get on TikTok. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. But I'm like, honestly, extremely grateful that we went to middle school when we did.
Thank God.
Because 6th graders now.
No, they have Megan.
They have Megan.
Like,
they literally have Megan. They're on TikTok.
Like 24/7.
They might be seeing these clips.
Yeah.
And that scares me.
I know. The fact that there's like children who can see what we're putting out there.
That scares me.
It feels so incorrect. I just remember content, like we talked about it last week with like what's his name? Shane Dawson and shit. Like, I remember it being so formative because I was like, oh, this is what people do. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there are children who might be consuming this who think that like this is the default way of being. And this, like, the way that we are is admirable and aspirational. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think we are.
No, I mean, who knows? I'm like, you don't think I'm aspirational?
No. Michelle came in 7th grade and fucked it up for you?
Yeah, Michelle came in 7th grade and really like shook me to my core.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel the full effects of Michelle until high school.
Yeah.
So like Michelle had me, like, she was fine.
Yeah.
And then she started implementing things, and that's when I started to say, what's going on?
I feel like the main thing about a school lunch in middle school was the milk. And like,
what was milk's propaganda? Like, it was like
milk.
It was like
big milk.
Big milk. Like, they were shoving these cartons in our faces.
I remember there being like a Got Milk poster of, I think, genuinely Kelly Clarkson.
I'm sure.
In our middle school cafeteria.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
I
I'm
remember
like, if Kelly's doing it,
if Kelly's doing it, I have to do it.
I need to have it.
Yeah.
The strawberry, the chocolate,
and those disgusting cartons that were sometimes almost
Soggy?
like gummy. Like, the milk itself was just like not milk.
Yeah. And like, people were sipping milk with some of the most
pizza,
off-putting
burgers,
meals.
Yeah,
burgers,
salad.
Do you ever have like a fajita? Do you remember like a fajita?
Have I ever had a fajita in my life?
No, a fajita like from a school lunch.
I forgot who said this quote, and I'm sure it will come to me. Is it Coco Peru?
It's Coco Peru.
What is the quote again?
If I go out for Mexican food with friends, they are not to order the sizzling fajitas.
When I'm sitting at a table and there's a sizzling fajita being delivered to the table,
you can't go anywhere after that.
The audacity, the scene that is caused in that restaurant when that arrives is honestly the worst experience, the worst dining experience you could possibly ask for.
It's worse than the birthday. Like,
it's worse.
Extravaganza.
It's worse because the at least people. This is like the food itself is screaming.
I will say, as it comes by your table, and you don't have a sizzling thing, you're like, ooh,
where's that rattling?
That smells good.
Yeah.
But no, you just sit there. It's like sitting in front of a wood fire.
Yeah, it's a little bit, and they're always like, "Be careful! It's so really hot. You're gonna burn yourself." I'm like, I don't think a threat should arrive to the dinner table ever, in my opinion.
But it's always like a. Oh my god, they're literally right.
I don't really remember the fajitas. I remember the tacos like it was yesterday.
Tacos.
And something about those like bland ass unseasoned taco meat with an uncooked tortilla and like a dollop of nacho cheese.
And a milk carton.
The milk carton is where you lose me. Like, I actually could taste what like the how it tacos tasted like, and I literally would do anything to experience it.
Yeah.
And the burgers where they're like, do you want cheese? And they just slap a cold slice of cheese on top of a burger.
I can taste the burger. And they would never melt because the burgers were also
already
cold.
A little cold. Yeah. So you were like biting into like a weird, it's like a doughy, thick bread bun, and then like Next layer is like just a slice of cold cheese, and then it's like a gummy burger.
And you're like, I mean, for the most part, like I would bring lunch.
Yeah.
I stopped bringing lunch when
You started getting bullied.
When I started getting bullied. But then I would bring 2 lunches sometimes. Oh. Yeah, that's what happens when these people are coming up to you and they're big and scary.
Who was it?
I have no
Like
idea.
8th graders?
Yeah, he was like an 8th grader, and he definitely didn't go to the high school. He might have transferred out situation.
Like juvie.
What? Yeah, I do believe that is what happened.
Actually?
Yeah, I do believe that, like, he wasn't good.
Okay, yeah, I mean, he was stealing your lunches.
He was stealing my lunch, and I had to bring 2 lunches, which is, like, looking back at it, so sad. But, again, he was like, if you don't give me your lunch, I'm going to beat you up at Gino's Pizzeria.
Gino's
Pizzeria?
Yeah, thank God you brought it up.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if, like, I am sure this actually is probably a weirdly universal experience. I doubt around the country it's a pizzeria.
Were people beating each other up in middle school?
Pizzeria?
At pizzerias?
Yeah, I think so. That was the fight. It was like Fight Club. If you wanted to see a fight, all you had to do was show. It was like cruising. All you had to do was show up on a Thursday afternoon, right? It was Thursdays.
It was Thursdays.
You show up to the back parking lot of Gino's Pizzeria, and there are 2 6th graders beating the shit out of each other.
Beating each other's asses.
Like,
imagine being the pizza maker. Imagine
like,
being
oh, these kids are back.
Kids are back. And there would be like, I never went, but I would see it. Of course. Can you imagine? Because again, if
we would have been the ones getting beat up. Yeah.
That's why I was worried about showing up, because I'd be like, someone's going to punch me in the face.
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't handle that. I think we drove past it together almost with your mom.
I'm sure if there was one thing my mom loved
doing
to,
it.
she'd love to scope out a scene.
Yeah.
We were always doing that. Another, like, I would say really challenging experience that year was like the introduction of puberty in general. And like we can get more into it as the years go by in this episode, but I think like the number one thing starting in 6th grade was like the smell, like BO.
The stench that filled the halls.
And not only that, because that's whatever, but did you ever have to go to like an assembly where they were like,
to be like
put on deodorant? Mm-hmm. Like, can you imagine being a middle school teacher?
It was like almost like showing you how to do it.
Yes.
And you're like, what?
I remember my teachers just being pissed off. It was like 4 of them, like my 4 core teachers, and they were like, listen, you guys, you gotta start wearing deodorant. You're at that age, it's time to start wearing deodorant. You gotta go home, ask your mom or dad to get you deodorant. You can't come here anymore smelling.
They were trying to get
the 85 students. And you know, I'm sitting there being like,
Mom, I need deodorant.
It's me.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
the problem. It's me.
Yeah.
But with BO especially, I'll never forget sitting behind fucking stunk.
Yeah.
He stunk. And everyone knew it.
Stunk for years.
Everyone knew he stank. And everyone was sniffing and smelling him. And he sat directly in front of me in English. And I had to tell my teacher that I could no longer sit there, or as I said, one of us has to move because this can't happen. I was like, I want to listen. I want to read The Great Gatsby in peace, and I can't.
Yeah, I want to talk about The Green Light.
The next day, she came in and she said, "We're changing seats today," and I was like, thanks.
She was like,
"Yeah." I loved being a teacher's pet. Was so convenient for those purposes.
Yeah, huge teacher's pet. But again,
did you ever smell?
Did I ever smell? I don't think I would let myself smell. I think I was somebody who was also like wearing like a lot of cologne in middle school vibes. Axe. But I never got into Axe.
I was Axed up.
But the Axe,
that was worse than BO.
It was, because again, one, I don't even know if it was antiperspirant.
No, it was just body spray.
It was just body spray. So you still stink. You're a sour, smelly stinker.
Like, actually, what would you even describe the smell of Axe as? Like dishwashing detergent?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you, but you walk in, speaking of locker rooms.
Oh my God.
You're getting ready for gym. And you might as well be in a you might as well collapse on the floor because of the cloud that's in the air.
Yeah. It's literally god awful. Like, I to this day can't smell like certain colognes because I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally back in a locker room.
The chocolate. Axe.
The chocolate. I had that.
Yeah, of course you did.
I think I was definitely one of the problems with Axe. I like loved it for a second. The locker rooms, let us dive into it. the fact that in 5th grade there was no concept of that, and then suddenly in 6th grade you have to get undressed in front of all of your peers was psychological torture.
Yeah. It was warfare. And us taking off our shirts
In
I might have not been fast at anything,
but I could get fully naked and redressed in 0.5 seconds
before you could even take your next breath.
Yes, I could rip this shirt off and put another one on. You wouldn't even notice it happened as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Ready? Let's go.
Like it was so horrid.
What is so interesting to me is like, do you think it's a culture thing for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, when I was in Iceland, this is a pivot, but with the kids that were there, they were in high school, but they were like, we were at a bathhouse. They were like, I can't get naked in front of people. Meanwhile, everybody else from that country was literally just walking around.
I know I need it.
I was like, you just need to own it.
This is the year for me of nude beaches, nude spas.
Yep.
Any place that I could be naked, like it is the year of that for me. Like, get ready to see a lot of me on this goddamn podcast. Next episode, no clothes.
No clothes.
No clothes. I'm done.
I'm literally like, drop the OnlyFans link.
Yeah, you held that beat for a second too long for us to know if that was a joke or not. And I mean, growing up American fucking sucks. I like think that that's honestly a baseline for it. Like that is the entire culture that we're instilled upon. Like, yeah,
it's just the Puritan
shame,
culture of it all.
Yeah,
the
like
shame
being again in the crucible. Like the shame of your body, the shame of your thoughts, the shame of your beliefs, and then like the values that you have to have of like money, success, like big car, nice watch, nice clothes, like skinny fit, like all of this shit. And then like I think about these like random European towns.
I think that they're more personally free,
and they're not as set up to fail. Like we are set up to fail,
to feel like
kids.
You're constantly chasing after something.
And it's the American dream. It's the Great Gatsby. It's the green light. We're never gonna get that thing that we think we need.
Yeah,
because it's getting out of this goddamn country.
All right, what were we like playing with in 6th grade? Like I really want to think back to like what
I could tell you.
You're talking video games.
No.
What were you playing?
I had those damn Webkinz.
Yeah, you were playing.
I was Webkinz up.
6th grade Webkinz.
Yeah, I think that was just the dawn of Webkinz. Was it not? No, that was like 5th grade, 4th grade.
I feel like 4th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I was still playing with Webkinz in 6th grade, obviously.
Yeah.
It was Webkinz for me. It was Club Penguin for Webkinz. And we're going to have to... I actually said to you yesterday, I want to do an episode that is entirely like we just buy 200 Webkinz in bulk and just go through each and every one of them and just discuss them.
We're buying the 200 Webkinz?
Yeah, it'll be like $50 on eBay. I think we can front the money.
Okay.
Remember the Googles? The Googles?
Who's the Googles?
The Googles Webkinz?
Who are they?
The Googles Webkinz, the platypus, the white platypus with the no arms.
Yes, of course.
The fact that it took you that long really just...
Joe, some people didn't have
Some
people didn't have 180 Webkinz.
Sit right
some
with
people
me.
only had like maybe a normal amount, maybe like 10.
No, that's not normal. 181 is the normal amount of Webkinz to have.
I'm sure in your brain it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But Googles is just... I mean, they created a species. They created a new animal for us.
Are we fighting?
I almost think that like it got really scary for a second. I just think it's like disrespectful to ignore like the plight of the Googles. Like there was a plain Googles, there was a Lilkins Googles, there was a pink Googles that I did buy my dad for Father's Day. I just think that like, yeah, where is that in pop culture? Why are we not referencing
literally
these
here?
things? It's here.
Or it's
this is the only place you can get that kind of content.
This is Webkinz Insider.
That's abysmal. This is Webkinz Insider.
It really
Actually,
is.
I'm renaming the podcast Webkinz Insider. Did I ever tell you about, speaking of 6th grade, when I made the branch off of Webkinz Insider called Bye Bye WI?
No.
I made my own forum. Because I was too old for Webkinz. So me and Daniel, who...
Yeah, you found him.
Found him on TikTok years later. Me and Daniel made our own branch off of Webkinz Insider called Bye Bye WI, like .forum.com. And I got banned from Webkinz Insider because of it. Because they were like, you can't promote this here. And I was like, it's just like for people who are like too old for Webkinz now and like want to still have a safe space to discuss their interests, like Lady Gaga and Rent.
And that has nothing to do with Webkinz.
They banned me.
How did that feel?
It was like I was locked out of heaven's gates. You know, I was cast out. Like I felt just like honestly Lucifer in many ways. Like
you give Lucy.
I was a fallen angel.
You love Lucy, yeah.
Yeah. What other toys?
I was like, I'm talking about like too. Like, what were we bringing to school?
I wasn't bringing toys.
You were being like, oh, was that not the
tech decks?
Yeah, was that not middle school?
I didn't participate.
Oh, you know I did.
Why the hell were you playing with tech decks?
What am I thinking of right now?
In what world were you playing with and why were you playing with tech decks?
Because I had to impress the little fucking losers, the Justin Bieber hair swingers.
That's what I'm saying. That's you.
I know, it's me.
It's so you.
And is that fine? Like, is that literally fine? You were playing with 180 Webkinz.
Yeah, but I was like doing that in the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
In the privacy of my house.
That's fine.
The tech deck shit. It's just so sometimes not when you. Were,
I know, but sometimes when you got good at it, you got good at it. What was the thing that almost looked like a fleshlight?
This is like so beyond 6th grade. This is like kindergarten.
Kindergarten?
They were like water tubes.
And you can like just like throw them back and forth.
And kind of like you could definitely fuck that.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were like filled with like glitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like felt weird about those. Like for as long as they existed.
I know that they were probably like a kindergarten thing, but I'm sure that when they came back to my life as I was going through, I fucked a few things. I do think so. So that stinks, but yeah.
Okay.
You had one of those.
What was that?
You know exactly what I mean. That also is not a 6th grade thing, but again,
a yo-yo?
No, it was the handprint thing, the face thing, like that you would put on your face and it would show you the your handprint.
Oh, like the needles?
The needles.
Yeah, I love the things you're thinking about because I think there are toys that existed in the 60s. Like, you know what I mean? Like nostalgia is like that for our parents.
Yeah, I'm like, that's literally my childhood experience.
Like, remember
because
Rock and
I
Sock
wasn't
and
someone who was like really playing with toys.
Yeah. Rock Band was like probably 6th grade.
Yeah,
we were like fully slamming on that plastic drum kit.
That's when I think I found my love for drumming.
6th grade was also the introduction, speaking of singing, to a school musical. And in 5th grade, at the end of 5th grade, we saw Howitt Middle School do a production of Seussical that changed the trajectory of our lives forever.
I still have the feeling, like, I know that feeling from that moment was just like,
this is where I belong.
That's where I belong.
This is what I should be doing.
And it really comes back to me because I'm like, having that feeling, saying this is where I belong, and then
not doing it,
suppressing it.
Oh yeah, hello. That's why we're here.
Suppressing it. We saw that musical. We go home and we're like,
get to work.
Let's do it.
Get off book by 2 p.m.
Let's do it.
We have a production to put on.
Yeah.
And we did.
And we put on Seussical.
And I will never forget, like, I am so happy in that video. Like, it's so crazy that we only did it behind closed doors. It's so fucking nuts.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's
I
really
would have been
not okay.
so happy doing that.
Yeah. It would have actually changed a lot.
Our whole lives.
A lot.
Like, literally, it's actually insane the level of like joy we deprived ourselves from.
Yeah.
It was not like I was told I could not do that.
Yeah. It wasn't like one of us was doing it, the other one wasn't.
Right. We both were like,
and we're like, they're doing Little Shop of Horrors. That's cool.
That's cool, I guess. I'll go see Brendan Hopkins. But like,
I do remember now that I think about it, 6th grade auditions.
You auditioned?
I didn't audition. Sam Giordano did. Wait, why is it coming back to me in this moment? I was in English class in 6th grade, and she was like, are you auditioning for the musical? I think you should. And I was like, no, I don't know. Like, I think I'm going to do, like, maybe football instead. I'm going to do football. I have football practice.
And I said, I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah. And she was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And I don't think she got in. But
can you imagine rejecting a middle schooler from being in the musical? Why can't they all just be in it?
It would be me. They had a vision. The director had a vision.
I guess, but like, I'm literally listening. Like, I'm not trying to give everyone that participation trophy. Like, I'm not trying to like do that, but let the kids sing. Let the kid be in the ensemble.
You're right.
Like,
give them a dancing
especially
role.
in middle school, like, it's not going to be fucking Broadway.
Yeah.
But let them nurture their interest in their craft for a little bit. 8th grade, maybe you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But 6th grade, give them a shot.
Yeah. My sister didn't even make the chorus.
That's insane.
She had to sing Happy Birthday and she didn't even make the chorus.
I Can Has Cheeseburger. Do you have any idea what that is?
Who?
Isn't it amazing? Like, it's amazing to me that you actually exist in a different timeline than anybody else. Like, anybody else.
I think it really is nice.
It is like you grew up in a forest. Like,
Yeah.
it's so nuts. Like,
I do.
I don't understand how these cultural touchstones completely skipped you, yet you grew up this close to me all of our adolescence, and it is all I cared about and all I knew. The cat, I Can Has Cheeseburger. It was like one of the early memes. It was like a cat that was like, I Can Has Cheeseburger.
Oh my god, wait. The cat? Joe,
Yeah.
that one really missed me. I'm so
LOL
sorry.
cats. Nothing about this.
No, like, and I feel at this point like
The
I'm
cat was
almost
like, I
offending
Can
you.
Has Cheeseburger. I Can Has Cheeseburger. I Can Has Cheeseburger. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be asleep tonight. Being like,
I Can Has Cheeseburger.
I Can
It's
Has
insane
Cheeseburger.
that you don't know I Can Has Cheeseburger
No.
at all.
no.
It's like a cat that's like wants the cheeseburger. It's like, I Can Has Cheeseburger. What's in front of us right now?
A little Greek board. I was like, how can I make this creative and how can I make somebody want to also try this? And I was really like last minute planning. And I didn't use meat because I was like, listen, some people don't eat meat.
Right.
If you were to add meat, I'd add a little bit of prosciutto, but we did that last time. So what we have is a Stacy's pita chip. We have some fig jam. We have some feta cheese and a garlic stuffed olive. And my idea is to build it with the pita. We spread the jam. We sprinkle the cheese. You place the olive and you drizzle with balsamic.
I don't want to talk shit, but
You're nervous.
I'm nervous about the choice of the fig jam with the garlic stuffed olive.
I just feel like this is a moment where you gotta trust.
I'll
the
trust
process.
you. I trust you.
Let me make it for you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm really afraid to eat this, Andrew, because it's a lot of textures. It's a big crunch.
I think you have to put like the whole thing in your mouth.
It's a deep throat.
Yeah, it's a DP for sure. But like, I think that if you put this on a platter, and
It's a DP.
Oh, sorry, a DT.
Double penetration.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about.
We just realized that Andrew is supposed to be at a meeting right now, so
I'm a little bit aloof. I'm literally like told her to meet me at 4:00. But anyways, cheers.
Cheers.
So the question is, Joe, do you trust this brain?
Yeah, I do.
Yes!
That really does hit in an interesting way.
Because the fig and the balsamic, the sweetness is cutting that salty olive with the salty feta. Come on. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it is quite interesting.
And I think that you got every texture that you possibly need.
Yeah. I'm really amazed by it. It's really quite good.
You guys.
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Oh,
And just like that.
bing. What, I want like a school.
That was my bell.
That was good.
Right?
Yeah. And just like that.
And just like that, we'll see you next week for 7th grade.
And you know where to find
2008.
us.
You know exactly where to find us at Good Children Pod across all platforms. At Joe Hegyes on Instagram and back on TikTok again at Be Quiet Joe if you're feeling funky.
Feeling crazy. At Andrew Muscarella on Instagram.
And we'll see you next week.
And enjoy this board.
Enjoy the board.
Seuss.
Seuss.